Listen to me, you don't have to stay where you are. Poverty is not your destiny. It's a temporary condition if you decide to move. Steve Harvey once said, "You have not because you ask not." The moment you start believing you deserve more, your life begins to change. The dream in your heart is not random. It's a signal from God of what's possible for you. You've got to wake up every morning and say, "This isn't my final chapter." You may be broke right now, but you're not broken. You may be struggling, but you still have the seed of greatness inside you. But take action today, not tomorrow, not someday. Because success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who work. You have the power to rewrite your story, to break the cycle, and to walk into the life you've been praying for. Don't settle. Step up, speak up, and show up for your own destiny. You don't have to stay poor. You just have to start moving. Poverty is a temporary condition, not a destiny. It is not who you are, but where you are for a moment in time. Many people mistake their current struggle as a life sentence when in truth it is only a chapter in the book of transformation. Poverty doesn't define your worth. It only tests your will. You may be surrounded by lack. That lack cannot limit the greatness that God has placed within you. Circumstances may seem heavy, but they are never permanent when you decide to move with faith and action. Every successful person you admire once stood at the edge of nothing, yet they believed that their condition did not determine their conclusion. Poverty is an environment, not an identity. It can shape your hunger, but not your potential. The moment you begin to see yourself differently, the world begins to shift in your favor. When your mindset changes from survival to purpose, from fear to faith, the very atmosphere around you starts to respond. God never designed you to live in defeat. He designed you to grow through challenges and come out stronger. Poverty can produce wisdom, resilience, and creativity when you refuse to let it imprison your vision. Every obstacle you face is a setup for your next elevation. When you understand that lack is seasonal, you stop feeling sorry for yourself and start preparing for overflow. There is no curse that can hold back a determined spirit. What looks like failure today can become your foundation tomorrow. Some of the greatest leaders, innovators, and dreamers began in conditions of lack, but they refused to stay there. They used every rejection, every closed door, and every sleepless night as fuel to build something greater. They believed that their condition could not stop their calling. Poverty tries to convince you that you have nothing to offer, but that is the biggest lie. You have ideas, strength, and divine favor waiting to be activated through movement. The key is not to sit in your pain, but to rise with purpose. Every action you take, no matter how small, begins to rewrite your story. Every prayer you make, every skill you learn, every risk you take pushes you further from lack and closer to abundance. It begins in your thinking before it manifests in your living. Speak differently about your life. Stop saying, "I can't," and start declaring. Words are powerful tools that shape reality. The moment you align your mouth with your vision, change begins to unfold. Poverty may try to whisper that you are stuck, but your faith should roar louder that you are chosen for more. The shift begins when you stop waiting for a miracle and start becoming one. Each sunrise is another opportunity to break patterns, to plant seeds, to create a life that reflects your purpose. You are not meant to stay in poverty because your destiny was written in abundance. Belief and action create breakthrough. Every dream begins as a seed of belief, but it only grows when watered with consistent action. Faith alone opens your eyes to what's possible. Yet action turns that possibility into reality. Many people hope for change, but remain where they are because they never move beyond wishing. Belief gives you the vision. Action gives you the manifestation. You can pray, plan, and visualize all you want, but until your feet start moving, nothing changes. True transformation is birthed when what you believe in your heart is followed by what you do with your hands. The bridge between vision and victory is built with the steps you take daily, even when you can't see the full picture. When you believe that something greater is possible, you awaken a power within you that refuses to settle. Belief reshapes your mindset, allowing you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It gives you the courage to step forward when everything around you says stop. But belief without movement becomes stagnation, and stagnation suffocates dreams. Action gives life to faith. Every time you take a step, you tell the universe, "I'm ready for more." God responds to motion. Doors that once seemed locked begin to open when you walk toward them with confidence. The moment you take action on what you believe, heaven starts aligning resources, people, and timing in your favor. Action is proof that your faith is alive. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. The small steps you take each day compound into massive change over time. Belief says, I can rise. Action says, watch me do it. Together, they create momentum that cannot be stopped. Fear may whisper that you're not ready, but belief answers back that you were made for this moment. When your belief burns strong enough, it drowns out doubt. And when your action is steady enough, it silences excuses. Every great success story is built on someone who refused to quit, someone who kept believing and kept moving even when no one was watching. Breakthrough doesn't come from waiting for the perfect time. It comes from taking imperfect action with unwavering belief. The combination of faith and movement sends a signal that you trust God's process even when you don't understand it. You can't expect results from seeds you never plant. Every act of courage, every decision to keep going, every moment you push through resistance strengthens your foundation for breakthrough. Life responds to those who take initiative. The universe rewards movement backed by conviction. When belief fuels your vision and action powers your steps, impossible starts to look possible. Mountains move, doors open. And what once felt out of reach becomes your reality because belief and action together unlock the supernatural force of breakthrough. God plants dreams as signs of potential. Every vision that stirs within your heart is not random. It is divine evidence of what you are capable of becoming. When God places a dream inside you, He is revealing a glimpse of your purpose and the greatness that already resides within you. Dreams are the spiritual seeds of destiny, placed in the soil of your imagination to awaken your faith and direct your steps. They come as whispers in quiet moments, as burdens that will not let you rest, as pictures of a life that feels bigger than your current reality. Those dreams are not there to tease you. They are there to guide you. God uses dreams to show you what is possible through Him. Many people dismiss their dreams because they seem impossible or too far out of reach. But impossibility is often the proof of divine origin. God will never give you a dream that fits within your comfort zone. He gives you dreams that stretch you, that force you to depend on Him for strength and direction. When you carry a dream that feels too big, it's because He intends to show His power through your journey. Every time you feel that tug in your heart to do something greater, it is heaven's reminder that your story isn't finished. God's dreams always point you toward your potential, not your past. He doesn't consult your failures to decide your future. He looks at the gifts He placed inside you before you were even born. Dreams have a way of waking up what life has tried to silence. They stir passion in dry seasons, give hope in waiting seasons, and build endurance in painful seasons. They remind you that there is something more beyond your current circumstances. A dream from God doesn't fade easily because it is connected to purpose. You can try to ignore it, but it keeps coming back, whispering that there is more for you to do, more for you to become, more for you to give. When you nurture that dream through prayer, discipline, and persistence, it begins to take shape. Each challenge you face while chasing it refines your character, strengthens your faith, and prepares you for the responsibility of success. God never wastes a dream. Even when delays come, even when detours happen, the vision remains alive. He allows the waiting to strengthen your trust, not to discourage your pursuit. The dream is proof that He has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill it. You may not see the full picture now, but every step you take in obedience brings you closer to its fulfillment. When you align your actions with the dream God placed in your heart, doors begin to open, resources begin to flow, and people begin to appear at the right time. The dream is not just about you. It's about what God wants to do through you to impact others. Success requires daily movement, not waiting. Nothing great is built by standing still or waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. The truth is, there will never be a perfect time, only a purposeful decision to start where you are with what you have. Every day you move, you shift your life forward. Even if it's by an inch, progress is not about speed, it's about consistency. Success is a result of daily habits, small disciplines, and quiet persistence that compound over time. Waiting often disguises itself as patience, but many times it's just fear dressed in logic. The ones who win in life are not the ones who wait for conditions to change. They are the ones who change in spite of the conditions. Movement creates momentum. Each action you take, no matter how small, builds energy that fuels the next step. When you begin to move, you stir possibilities that waiting could never produce. God blesses motion because motion is a sign of faith. You can't steer a parked car, it has to be in motion to be directed. The same is true with your destiny. As long as you're moving, God can guide your path, correct your direction, and accelerate your growth. Too many people pray for blessings but never make the move that invites them. They say they are waiting on God, but often God is waiting on them to act. Movement proves trust. It says, I believe something will happen if I take this step. Every successful person understands the power of routine progress. They don't rely on bursts of motivation, they rely on discipline. Success is built one action at a time, one decision after another. One choice to keep going when quitting feels easier. Each day you do something toward your vision. You are building a foundation that waiting can never create. Opportunities come to those who are active, not passive. When you start showing up, even when it's hard, life begins to respond. Doors open for those who knock consistently. Waiting keeps you stuck in thought. Movement puts you in transformation. It's easy to make excuses for inaction. Fear of failure, lack of resources, uncertainty about the future, but success never bows to excuses. The longer you wait, the more distant your dreams become. Each moment of movement breaks the grip of fear and builds your confidence. Momentum doesn't come overnight. It's earned through faithfulness in the small things. When you commit to daily progress, no matter how minor, you are declaring that you trust the process more than the pause. God rewards those who move in expectation. He multiplies the efforts of those who work while believing. Waiting delays growth, but movement attracts miracles. Each day you step forward, you prove that success isn't found in waiting for change. It's found in becoming the change through consistent action. You are not broken, just in progress. Every scar, every setback, every moment of pain is part of the shaping process, not proof of your failure. Too often people label themselves as broken because they're still healing or still learning. But healing does not mean you're ruined. Growth is not clean or pretty. It's messy, uncomfortable, and filled with moments of uncertainty. The cracks you see in yourself are not flaws to be ashamed of. They are signs that light is entering, that transformation is happening. You are not meant to be perfect. You are meant to evolve. Progress is slow, and sometimes it feels invisible, but it's there in every lesson learned and every time you choose to rise again after falling. God does not create broken people. He creates purposeful ones. The challenges you face are not punishments, but preparation. Every delay, disappointment, or detour is shaping the strength required for your destiny. You may feel stuck, but you're actually being refined. Just as gold must pass through fire to reveal its brilliance, your spirit must pass through trials to uncover its greatness. Pain often becomes the tool that builds depth, compassion, and wisdom. When you stop labeling yourself as broken, you give yourself permission to see your life through the lens of purpose. You begin to realize that what feels like breaking is often the very thing that's building you into someone stronger. Progress doesn't always look powerful. Sometimes it looks like holding on when everything in you wants to give up. Sometimes it's getting out of bed when your heart feels heavy, or choosing to believe again after being disappointed. Progress is movement, no matter how slow, no matter how small. You are not the mistakes you've made or the seasons you've survived. You are the person becoming wiser through them. The process of becoming whole is never instant. It's a daily walk of faith, resilience, and surrender. God works in the unseen, shaping your heart, renewing your mind, and aligning your path with His promise. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are in the making of something extraordinary. Stop comparing your progress to someone else's perfection. Everyone's journey unfolds differently. Some grow in silence, others bloom in public, but all growth is sacred. The fact that you're still trying, still praying, still believing means you haven't given up on yourself, and that's progress. Life is not about being flawless, it's about being faithful in the process. Every experience, both good and painful, contributes to your becoming. You are still under construction, still learning to love, to trust, to rise. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt with purpose. What you think is weakness is often the very evidence of God's hands at work, molding your life into a masterpiece of resilience and grace. Take ownership and rewrite your story today. Life changes the moment you stop blaming circumstances, people, or the past for where you are and decide to take responsibility for where you're going. Ownership is the foundation of transformation because it shifts power back into your hands. As long as you make excuses, you remain a prisoner to what happened. But when you accept that your next chapter is in your control, you step into freedom. Every new day gives you the authority to choose a different path, to rise from what was, and to create what can be. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can decide that today becomes the turning point. Every great comeback begins with the decision to own your story, no matter how messy the previous chapters have been. When you take ownership, you silence the voice of victimhood and awaken the power of vision. It's easy to say, I would be further if they hadn't hurt me, or I could succeed if my situation was better. But those statements keep your future chained to your past. Ownership says, I can't change what happened, but I can change what I do next. It means accepting the lessons, forgiving the pain, and using every experience as fuel for growth. Life may not have been fair, but you have the power to make it meaningful. The moment you claim responsibility for your attitude, choices, and direction, the universe begins to respond differently to you. Rewriting your story doesn't mean pretending the past never existed. It means refusing to let it define you. Every scar, every failure, and every mistake can become a sentence of redemption in your new narrative. You get to decide whether your story is one of defeat or determination. You may have been overlooked, rejected, or underestimated, but none of that disqualifies you from greatness. Ownership gives you the authority to transform pain into purpose, rejection into redirection, and failure into wisdom. It's the power to say, this is not how my story ends, and mean it. Today is your opportunity to start writing from a place of clarity and courage. Stop waiting for permission, for the perfect time, or for someone to rescue you. You are the author of your destiny, and your pen is in motion every time you make a choice aligned with your vision. Rewrite your story with words of faith instead of fear, with actions that reflect your belief in something greater. The past may explain you, but it does not define you. Ownership means stepping into accountability, discipline, and faith, knowing that your next chapter is waiting for you to claim it. Every moment you decide to rise, you're rewriting the narrative of your life from limitation to empowerment, from hesitation to purpose, from survival to victory. You were never meant to stay stuck, limited, or defeated. Everything you've faced, every delay, every disappointment has been shaping you for a greater version of yourself. Poverty was never your destiny. It was a season designed to awaken your hunger for more. Belief and action are the keys that unlock breakthrough, and every dream inside you is a divine signal from God, showing what's possible if you dare to move. Success doesn't arrive through waiting. It grows through daily discipline, through the quiet moments where you choose persistence over comfort. You are not broken. You are being built, refined, and prepared for what's coming. The struggle you see now is not the end. It's evidence that transformation is in progress. So take ownership today and rewrite your story with courage and conviction. Don't wait for life to hand you opportunities. Create them through faith and movement. Every step forward is a declaration that you believe in your calling more than your circumstances. God planted purpose inside you long before anyone doubted you, and He's not finished yet. The future belongs to those who rise from limitation and walk boldly into possibility. Stand tall, believe again, move again, and let your life become the proof that with faith, discipline, and divine guidance, you can rise from any season and create the destiny you were born to live.